Hello friends, this is Ovagi and you are watching Art and Click. In this video, I am going to share my knowledge, everything I experienced with the lens of Nikon P900. Thank you so much for all your support, the views, lovely comment. It means a lot to me. I learned a lot from it also. So in this video, I am going to share you my knowledge about this Nikon P900, its lens. Well, to start with, this lens, as it is written over, let me show you. Yes, have a look. So, if you see here, this is 83x, and here it is written on the top. In the top, it is written 1 by 2.85 6.5, that is the aperture, and if I rotate, yes, this side it is written where the I'm showing here, yes, 4.3 to 357 mm. So that is the main feature, main tech spec of the camera. Canon SX60, the latest version, 65x. This is 83x, and Canon SX50, it was upgraded to SX60. Canon doesn't have so big. This is 67 mm. You can see here on the cap. Yes, this is 67 mm filter, and Canon is very small. So this lens gathers more light as the periphery is bigger. So this accumulates more light than any other zoom camera. That is one advantage. I came across one comment. The gentleman writes, the P900 is a ripoff. Read on at full wide zoom, the distance shows further away, okay, than your own eyes. It is approximately near 50% zoom until you see the same as you do with your own eyes. Don't believe me? Check it out yourselves. Fucking Nikon are deceivers. The camera you purchased is about, in reality, 43 times zoom. Well, for that, I need to prove that why it is not so. Well, I beg to differ. This is not only 43 times zoom. I would say this is 83x zoom, as I showed here, 4.3 to 357 mm. Well, when it is showing that it is 2000 mm zoom, why is it mentioned here 357? The reason is, all the lenses are when it is manufactured, they show the focal length that is equivalent for a 35 mm sensor, not this 1 by 2.3 sensor. 35 mm sensor is bigger and 1 by 2.3 sensor is smaller. So while comparing to smaller sensor, 357 mm multiplied by 5.6 is the crop factor of this kind of camera, which has 1 by 2.3 sensor. 1 by 2.3 is a small sensor, 1 by 35 mm sensor is a big sensor, full frame camera. So if we fix this lens, on a full frame camera, you will be getting only 357 mm zoom, 357 mm focus, that focal length. And if you use this lens on full frame camera at wide angle, it will give you 4.3 mm focal length. So now coming back to the argument, the gentleman says that normal eye we see better. Normal eye focal length is 17 mm. This is 4.3 multiplied by 5.6. This is approx 24 mm. So I am saying that technically, scientifically, this camera at its widest position, 4.3 mm equivalent on this camera 24 mm, gives better vision than human eye. 17 mm, 24 mm. So if you compare, approx 1.5 times bigger than human eye. We what is visible to my eye, what is visible to your eye, that is 17 mm, and what is visible to this camera, this is 24 mm when you compare it to full frame sensor, full frame camera. So in that aspect, if we compare 2000 mm, this camera can give you an equivalent reach of 2000 mm, whereas your eye gives you only 17 mm. 2000 by 17, approx 17, 2000 by 17 would be 100, it's more than 100x. If we say 100, then 1700 mm, then another 10x, 170, 110, then another 30, approx 112 times more than this, than human eye. If we can see 17 mm, then this camera at its highest zoom, at its highest focal length reach, can give 112 times better than the reach of human eye. So I scientifically, technically have proven that this is way ahead than 43, this is way ahead than 83, this is way ahead further than 100. If we compare to human eyes, then this camera can see 112 times better than human eye. So that is the logic about this comment. So this is clearly a fine camera. As of now, this is world's best super zoom, best ultra zoom camera. Well, this camera has few drawbacks. One drawback is, see, this camera doesn't have a flash zoom. You cannot use additional flash, only you have to depend on this small teeny flash. That is one significant drawback. Another very big drawback, I use this camera mostly for wildlife, because this is the low light, although it has good zoom, for good lighting condition you can get good shots, but in early morning and in evening, when the light intensity gets lower and lower, this camera doesn't perform that good. Also, this camera is not that fast compared to a DSLR, compared to a basic DSLR. And this camera doesn't have extra slot for extra microphone. That is a very big drawback. If I am going to shoot for wildlife, then I need good audio quality. And if there was just a jack for additional microphone to get a clearer sound, to get better audio along with better video, then this camera would have been a masterpiece. Canon SX60 is not as good as Nikon Coolpix P900 because of its lower zoom. Canon's highest reach is 1440 mm, not even 1500 mm. This camera can go up to 2000 mm. So this has better edge in in the zoom aspect, but this camera doesn't have mic jack and flash zoom. But Canon SX60 and SX50, they have it. Canon PowerShot SX60 HS. They have flash zoom and mic jack. This camera doesn't have. That is the only drawback when Nikon comes back with another upgrade in its Super Zoom series. Then we would be expecting these two things at least. This is a most wanted spec that is really expected, and otherwise this camera these two things make significantly less valued because of those two features. Otherwise, this is an amazing camera. Once upon a time, I dropped the idea of buying another DSLR, but I spent money on this. I am very happy with this camera, and further I'll be posting few more videos, and if you have any particular query on its video quality or any aspect, then please let me know. Please put your comments. If you like the content of this channel, please subscribe. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good day. Take care. Bye bye.